Hi guys. Hi. Welcome guys. Welcome. Yes, I know it's late. It's late at night. It's a Wednesday night. Welcome to First Lady Davidson's live. Guys, you know exactly what to do. Please double tap on the screen, like up the live, share the live. Share the live. Good night on a Wednesday night. Hi, Cecile Johnson. Big up yourself, sis. Hi, Donna Spence. How are you? Hi, Keen Crosby. So, again, guys, once you come on in, please double tap on the screen. Double tap on the screen. Like up the live, right? Don't just come and look. Like up the live, guys. And share the live too. Call your friends to come on over. You guys see what we're going to be discussing. You see the title. We're discussing Diddy. Yes, Diddy, P. Diddy, Puffy, Sean, whatever name he goes by these days. Love, brother love, whatever it is. You guys know his trial is ongoing. Yes. This is day 3 of the trial, and we see that his former girlfriend Cassie has been on the stand, right, guys? She testified against him, and you guys know I first spoke about this a bit. It was a night as well. I think it was a Saturday night, and there's a reason why I have this same jacket on. This is the jacket. This is the little blouse here I had on that fateful night when I spoke about it. You know, the Diddy trial. It had first came out, the bombshell that shocked the entire world of the abuse that his girlfriend, ex-girlfriend Cassie, had endured during her 10-year relationship with Diddy. You guys know Cassie, she's a singer. He is 17 years her senior. They got together when she was 19 years old. A young, impressionable girl who wanted to be in the music industry. She was a singer. They got together. They started dating. Here he is. You guys know he's been in prison. He's been waiting trial, guys, in Brooklyn there. Again, some horrific, right, charges that has been brought up against him based on a lawsuit initiated by his ex-girlfriend, Cassie. In that, I think, how many pages was that lawsuit? I read it all 7 months ago when it was first brought to the forefront to the public. I think it was 55 pages or so, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, and it involved freak offs. I mean, that was the first time I've heard about that phrase. Freak off, drugs, abuse, I mean, domestic violence. Just horrific, inhumane conditions that she had to endure. All in the name of love. You know that Puffy is a powerful music executive, you know, the CEO of Bad Boy Records. He has countless of artists under his belt. He's a billionaire, right? Well, was. I'm not sure if he is still. Very powerful in the music industry. And you have this young, impressionable girl here wanting to fulfill her dreams of becoming a singer. Imagine how shocked we were at the description of how horrific she has been treated. So, you know, normal folks. We see these celebrities, we see them on the red carpet. They look so beautiful, they look flawless. The riches, and you see Cassie, she's a beautiful girl. You're thinking, wow, most people would want to live that life. But at what price? At what cost? We usually see them on these red carpet events going out, and she looks beautiful. You know, she was more of a kept girl, because even though she was with him all these years, we've been looking for, you know, her career to take off, but it hasn't, didn't take off at all, period. She was more of an eye candy, right, on his arm, his girlfriend. Maybe we can say a beard, because we've heard stories about Puffy, Diddy. Like up the live, guys. Double tap on the screen. Oh my gosh, you should have been a crib, cause Gotti Lock, how are you? Oh, my live is messing up. I'm sorry for him. When they have money, they actually. Is the live going okay, guys? Hi, Gustavo. How are you? Big up yourself, Angela Lewis. Hi, I'm a moderator. Big up, big up. Hi, Rose Reynolds. Hi, sis. Hi, Janet. Big up yourself, sisters. Big up, big up, big up, big up. Guys, are you guys hearing me, seeing me clearly? Please double tap on the live. Like up the live. Let me know if you guys are seeing me clearly. Reaper Souls. Do I model? No, I'm not a model. Thank you. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys see me properly? Is the live breaking up? I'm just checking in, guys, because I saw a comment in the chat. I just wanted to know. Let me know in the chat if you guys can see me clearly, if you guys can hear me. So again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, for all my newcomers, please subscribe. Hit that subscription button and make sure you click it to all, so you can get all the notifications. You can get notified when I come live, when I upload new content. You'll be notified at first. My eyes are beautiful. Thank you, Gustavo. Where am I from? I am here living in the United States, but I'm originally from Jamaica. Okay, you're hearing. Okay, thank you, Rose. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, guys, double tap on that screen. Come on, guys. Come on. Before I go on with the story, like up the live. Give me a thumbs up, guys. Share the live. Tell your friends to come on over. We're talking about the Diddy trial. The Diddy trial. Today is day 3, and I'm sure you guys, some of you, most of you, have been following the details of what's been going on. We've been hearing about the freak off sessions. You know, Puffy, you know, he has so many names. I don't even know what to call him. Sean, whatever. You guys get the point. He has a lot of money, because we know it's him, right? This is day 3. You know, he has been charged with racketeering, with sex trafficking, all of that, you know, with all sorts of things, guys. And he's been sitting in jail there for a few months awaiting trial. And the day has come. I thought that, wow, I didn't know he could survive until May. But here we are in May, yes. And he's on trial for all these charges. And you know, these are federal crimes, which, yeah, he could be in there for a long, long time if these charges stick. I mean, the graphic details of sex trafficking, you know, prostitution, having male escorts, forcing people against their wills with all these. I'm going to say all the words because I don't care about this monetization or anything like that. But we're going to talk today. We will talk. All right. Good night, Dominique James. Big up yourself, sis. Big up, big up, big up, big up. Hi, Gallus. Hi, Larry. Big up yourself. Thank you guys for joining the live. Please remember to double tap on the screen. Give me a thumbs up. Hi, Sharon. How are you? Hi, Dennis. Good topic. Thank you. All right, guys. So remember to be mindful in the chat because as you guys see, my moderators are there. All right. So for all the newcomers, be respectful. I'm just putting it out there, because sometimes we have some weirdos. All right, this is not that page, okay? So if you are going to be here, please sit and behave yourselves. All right? Okay. So guys, so the first day we heard from one of the sex workers, male sex workers, and he went into details about these freak off sessions which he would have with Cassie. So imagine, I just cannot imagine, guys. Imagine someone as Puffy, right? He has his girlfriend, but still you want all these different men having sexual relations with her while you sit there and watch. What kind of freaky mess is that? That is just gross because, guys, most men, they definitely don't want to know or even hear or even think or fathom that another man is or has been with his woman. So what kind of sick mess is this? Well, according to Cassie, Puffy told her that he was into voyeurism. And if you guys don't know what that means, it means that you, as a person, just have a pleasure of sitting and watching two people go at it, have sex, right? We're talking about it plain and straight here, guys. So he's into that. He told his girlfriend this. I mean, imagine being with a man whom you loved, you look up to. I mean, she wanted a career in music. And your man tells you, oh, I want to sit and watch you have relations with strange men, not even with sex workers that we're going to search and look for on Craigslist and all these other websites, right? These random sex workers. I want to sit and watch them do you, my woman. What kind of sick, twisted mess is that? Imagine you as a young, impressionable girl hearing that from your boyfriend, your much older boyfriend. But imagine, what does that do to your self-esteem? Or do you just do it because of love? Would you do something like that in the name of love? Sacrifice yourself, your esteem, your body, your whole being just to please a man? Well, that's exactly what Cassie did. And when the prosecutors asked her, why did she do it? She said, because she loved him. So she wanted him to fulfill his fantasy because in her head, she's thinking, well, my man, this, he told me like he's into voyeurism. This is not something that people may want to openly speak about. But he trusted me, so I'm going to fulfill his fantasies. I mean, some people are whatever. People like different things in their relationships. Some people love monogamy. Some people have open relationships. I mean, there are different types of relationships. So, should we be judging? Should we? But anyway, guys, so she went along with this. Early on into the relationship, he started telling her about these freak off sessions that he wanted her to be involved with. Of course, 19 years old, she didn't know what the hell this was until they started getting involved, and she was tasked with the job of finding these men, because again, he wanted her to find men where she would bring back to the hotels or wherever location, and they would do whatever with her while he sits there and pleasures himself, masturbate. So while another man, and at first he was asking for the big, burly, strong men with big things, yes. So while they're doing that to his girlfriend, he would be there in a corner, masturbating, watching them, filming them, directing them as if this was a movie. Some sick, twisted fantasy. Imagine a young girl like that having to hire strange men, sex workers. These are not even regular men out there. These are professionals, right? So it's as if she's a prostitute. They're prostitutes, male prostitute, sex workers, whatever you want to call them. And she had to dress a certain way. She had to dress in nice, nicely clad lingerie. Her nail polish had to be white. I mean, she had to wear those long, clear stripper heels. I mean, it was a whole movie production of just sick, weird, twisted, demonic fantasy. So the first day that Cassie took the stand, which was yesterday, she described the freak off sessions. But one of the things that caught me was when she said, well, of course, she had to be drugged up. I mean, any normal person, these freak on sessions normally go on for hours, sometimes days, 4 days straight. Imagine just having sex, just on and on with all these different men. And you see Cassie's small, tiny frame. She was disgusted. She felt disgusted. She felt dirty. I mean, she had to be on drugs, which was supplied by Diddy, according to her, just to sedate herself so she's not feeling or what is happening to her. Oh my God. I am exhausted and just sick just thinking about it. Just reading the words, the transcript. She recounted one moment when she was laying there and she said both Diddy and one of the escorts were over her and they were peeing on her. I mean, guys, I told you, this is going to be gory. These are the details. Peeing on her. Not only peeing on her, guys, peeing in her mouth. So she's laying down. These men are over her, peeing inside her mouth. And she's gagging. She's drowning at one point in piss, guys. Sick. And all she could do was to put her hand up like, stop. But she's so drugged up on all sorts of drugs, like to take all the pain away, all sorts of drugs, just to sustain. I don't know how she managed All these years to go through all of that. What kind of sickness is that? Mm-mm-mm. Sick, sick, sick. And you may want to ask, guys, why didn't she leave? I mean, that's a good question to ask. Why didn't you leave? Why stay for so long? 10 years. She said she tried to leave, but she was scared of him. He's a powerful man. She was scared. She tried to leave, and you guys saw the infamous video recording at the hotel when he beat her to filth. You guys saw that. So they played it several times yesterday on that first day when she testified. They played it over and over for the jury. And the sad thing about it, well, the thing about it, all his children were there listening to all these vile actions and accusations made against him. Remember, he has four daughters of his own. So imagine sitting there and listening to what your father did to another female. He has the twins, right? The other daughter that's like the same age as the twin. And remember the baby girl that he had a few years ago. And then the sons, they were there. His mother was there. Did you guys see his son, Justin's mother? She was walking with, oh my God, I cannot. I don't know. The way she came to court, like something was wrong with her. It just reminded me of that other pedophile predator guy. Do you guys remember him? Walking in with the little wheelchair thing as if we're supposed to feel sorry for them. Sick people. Imagine someone peeing on you, then peeing in your mouth. What kind of disgusting shit is that? Ugh. What kind of person is he? And she described being beaten. I mean, we saw it, so he cannot deny the domestic violence part. The beatings, the amount of makeup that she had to be covering up her face with. And every time they had a premiere or something, she was always plastered in makeup, covering the bruises, covering the beating. And we would have never known if she did not bring that suit against him. Do you guys remember? That was all that started it last year. That lawsuit. Well, apparently she wanted to settle with him before it came out. You know, she wanted $30 million. And of course, I guess he was calling it bluff. He didn't know that she was really going to put it out there. So he didn't give it to her. And guess what? The next day, it was all out. Pages upon pages of everything that she went through. All these hundreds of escorts that they hired across the state lines. This is where all these charges, federal charges, are coming up again, and using his businesses and to pay these escorts and all these people, you know, so all these racketeering charges, sex trafficking, and all of that, right? We saw the beating, how he kicked and dragged her in the hotel when she was trying to escape, according to her, one of those freak off sessions. So what is Diddy's team defense? What is his defense going to look like or sound like? After all, The video recording, the tape is out there of him beating the crap out of her. According to his defense team, they're saying that, yes, of course, all these freak off happened, but he didn't force anyone into doing anything. He didn't force all these women and all these men too, who have come to accuse him, right, of sexual assault and rape and being forced against their will. He is saying all of this is true, but it's all consensual. Okay, yes, I'm a freak, but it's all consensual. This is his defense. It's all consensual. So now the prosecutors, they have to prove that no, it was a consensual, and these people were forced and drugged and sexual assaulted against their will. His team they're saying, his team, right, of lawyers, they are saying, well, of course, Diddy, yes, he's involved in domestic violence, but that's about it. Okay, he was a violent person, and yes, he's with Cassie, and they got into spats, and they both fought each other. So should be a case of domestic violence only, not of sexual assault, not of racketeering, not of sex trafficking and all of that. Not of that. So we will have to wait and see when they cross-examine Cassie tomorrow, what his defense team will come up with, what tactics, what strategies. Because according to them, all of this here, this whole freak off, sick, disgusting behavior is all consensual, made by consensual adults. They all were in there freely. They all made their decisions to be involved in all that freakiness. That's his defense. And that this, I guess, should only be a mere case of domestic violence. So A, it shouldn't be any type of federal crime. It should be some type of a state issue, right? Domestic violence between two partners. Big up yourself, honeybee. Hi, sis. Hi, Esther. They're trying to say she instigated it. So Cassie basically is saying she was scared. She was just in love. She's this young girl. She was just going with whatever he was saying because obviously he's a powerful man and she could not say no to him, because if she said no, of course, he would have beat the crap out of her, which he has done multiple times. So today on day 2, they showed pictures, a lot of images of all the bruises, of all the beatings. They showed a lot. They showed emails, text messages. So it's all there. And of course, again, we saw that video in the hotel when he was dragging her by the hair, flinging her on the ground, kicking her, stomping at her, when she was trying to escape. So his defense team will say, well, why didn't you leave? Why did you keep on going back to him? Because remember, this was an on and off 10-year relationship. Because at one point, she was dating another rapper, Kid Cudi. You remember, guys? She was dating him at one point. This was the guy that Puff blew up his car. We see these things in the movies, right? Make believe. But yes, blew up his car when he found out that she was dating him. This was after they had broken up for a while. And then she went back to him. So then they're going to use all of this. Like, if he was doing all these things to you, why didn't you leave? Why didn't you stay away from him? Why did you go back to him? Why did you go back to him? This is what they're going to say. I'm sure they're going to use these arguments. If he was such a terrible, horrible, horrific person, why? Why did you stay? Why didn't you just leave? And these are valid questions. Could she have, she eventually left, right? Because you guys know Cassie is now married. to Alex Fine, yes. And we are going to talk a little about him in a minute. But she's now married. So remember, guys, she got with Diddy when she was a teenager, 19. The man is a big grown man, right? Again, 17 years older than her. They were together for 10 years. No children, no nothing. He was in control of her career, a career that we didn't really see much of because he just promised her, gave her all these promises. We didn't really see a music career from her. She was in a 10-album contract with him. Nothing. She was just his little eye candy on his arm. A beard, if you ask me, right? Maybe a cover-up for what he was really into, because that's not love. That is not love at all. They never had any kids. She didn't have any kids. He had his kids, but she, none. But she's now married to Alex Fine. She has 2 beautiful daughters, and as you can see, guys, from the images, the sketches, the court sketches, she's pregnant again with her 3rd child. She's about 8 months pregnant, so she could have baby any second now, and she's there reliving these gory, horrific events. I mean, when she described everything that she went through, thank goodness that she was even able to have kids. Because multiple men sleeping with multiple men without protection, all these drugs, you name it, she was on just to cope. And these freak-off sessions occur weekly, whether she was on her monthly or not, because today's money was horrific. They asked her what it smelled like in there with all the baby oil. You know, they use a lot of baby oil, and the baby oil had to be warm. And they described yesterday of one time he had a pool, and she had to sit in a pool of baby oil. They had to be rubbed down every 5 minutes with warm baby oil because Puffy, allegedly, that's what he loved. They had to be shiny and glistening. So they asked her, what did it smell like? I mean, think of it. Musty, ass crack, all of that. Sick. And she said even when she was on her period, she spoke about it. So it was sometimes bloody and just messy in all these different hotels. And she would try to cover. Imagine you going in a hotel and you got that one of the rooms where they had one of their freak-off sessions in. Furniture, everything being destroyed because baby oil is all over. These burly men with her, it's a whole production. According to her descriptions, he's there filming, because of course he wants to keep video evidence. That's how he's able to control all these people. She said it smelled like blood sometimes and she described today, oh my gosh, I was exhausted, of her mouth having sores in it. I mean, they're having unprotected sex with all these different people. Who knows? She said she was getting UTIs. Her hoo-ha was burning, and she would tell him, and he wouldn't care. She would still have to do it with these men. Her mouth is burning. Every part of her is, it's just sick and graphic, guys. He's sick, yes, Rose. 666. Honeybee said, I love my boring life. Yeah, is that called selling your soul? to the devil for riches, for fame. What do you call that? And again, the question, why couldn't she leave at that time? Why did it take for it to be 10 years for her to leave? Why? And again, so I don't know. I'll have to see when they cross-examine her. I mean, he's sick. He needs to go away forever. But, you know, he has some great lawyers there. And they're going to just poke holes into her testimony, right? They're going to say, well, you call these people up because she was doing the hiring, she was doing the calling up, she was booking these people, even though Puffy, according to her, was the one that, of course, made the final decision as to what men will make the cut, right? What escort. But she was going on, she was choosing them, right? She was handing them the money as payments, even though it all came from him. But she was doing that, you know. She was telling, according to one of the escorts that testified, she told him to pee on her. So all of that, they're going to try to use against her. Well, you seem like you loved it, like you love these freak off sessions. And this was just you and your kinky man just doing kinky things. Not that it's going to hold up and he's going to be found not guilty in the end, but I'm just saying these are things that the defense will have, you know, will have a field day with her tomorrow, come tomorrow. You wanted it, you stayed, you hired these men, you called these men, you gave them these fake names. You consented to it, you wanted to please your man. Yes, he beat you up. This is the only thing that we could charge him for, and it's domestic violence. But all of these other things, no, this is all consensual adults. I mean, she gave some gory descriptions of what happened to her, and I felt just sick to my stomach, and I just feel so horrific. So I feel so bad for her. And she spoke today. She said, so, you know, she's no longer with Puffer. She's married now, and her husband had to be in there in the courtroom hearing all of that. But, I mean, so she met her husband, Alex Fine. Well, Puffy, at the time when her and Puffy was still dating, he hired Alex as her trainer. So this is how she met her now husband. He was hired as a trainer for her, you know, to make sure she looked good and all of that. So Alex knew about all them freak off sessions because I'm sure Cassie was telling him what was happening, right? What was going on with her. And I'm guessing they planned the whole escape of her eventually leaving. So Cassie was dating this guy behind Puffy's back. He wasn't aware of this, right? Because he hired this guy to train her. Little did he know that she was dating him behind his back. So, I mean, him being in court and hearing all these dirty details, I'm sure he knew about most of it, and he accepted her, you know, with all of that. They got married, they had the kids right away. Now she's pregnant with baby number 3. So hats off for him, you know, for being there with her and giving her the courage, I'm sure, you know, to bring this to justice. But I'm sure him sitting there hearing all of this, reliving all of this, it had to be hard. I mean, they did ask him to leave at one point because Puffy's defense team will be examining him, right? Will be questioning him. He will be on the stand. I mean, even today he was in the courtroom again, hearing all these details of, the diseases and sores in her mouth. And at one point she had went to the studio to try to practice singing, but she couldn't even sing because her mouth was so sore because of all the things that she had to put in her mouth, which you guys should know, all these different men parts in her mouth and everywhere down there was burning. I mean, just and he didn't care. She still had to do it. And I'm left to think that you couldn't say no. Is it that bad? Are there, I don't know, what do you guys think? If you were in her position, is he that powerful that you would stay in all of this abuse? And they keep on asking her. She said she loved him. She loved him. But that man is a sick man because, so guys, so the freak off session, it involves her, using her mouth on these different men while he's watching. They're rubbing each other with baby oil. She's giving them oral. And they do whatever with her, have the sex with her while he's watching and all of that. Then she would leave them and go into the room to go do it with him, with Puff. Now, what kind of sickness is that? So after she has done it with the escorts, then she would go in the room to go do it with him. And then at one point, they said that he loved when the men jacked off, ejaculated in her, on her. And then that he would want Cassie to come into the room and rub their mess on him. Like, what the hell? I mean, guys, it's very graphic. Graphic, guys. Arlene said she would run. That's why you must never envy people for what they have, or look at this. Right, honeybee? Sicko Dominique. Sick. Add user. Like up the live, guys. Double tap on the screen. Hi, Clyde. Big up yourself. Is that Clyde Davis? That name sound familiar. Rose, you say it's the money why she stayed. So sad. So guys, this is only day 3, and this case, this trial is supposed to be going on for at least 6 weeks, and I'm already sick to my stomach just hearing her testimony. I'm already sick to my stomach, and we're only on day 3. And there are plenty of other victims, who they're going to testify and who will be cross-examined and all of that. What do you guys think? Do you guys think he's going to be found guilty of these more serious charges? Do you guys think he's going to be found? I mean, look at R. Kelly. He was found guilty. He's still there, right? In prison for what he did to them young girls. Do you think that Diddy will be found guilty of these charges, or do you think he's going to get away? Let me know in the chat. Hi, Barry. Walking exercise for your health. How are you? Big up yourself. Thank you for joining the live. Onwabodo, John Sunday, big up. Thank you for joining the live. Remember to double tap on the screen. So Vega said guilty on the B says she hopes so. But you're looking good, by the way. Thank you, Vegas. You're from Nigeria. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Onwabodo. Hope I'm getting it correct. Big up yourself again, Donna. So remember, double tap on the screen, guys. I'm just reading what you guys wrote. Sorry, guys. So you guys are saying, some of you are saying it's the money, why she stayed. Because people are, big up yourself, Marlene Evans. Hi, sis. Some people are saying, why didn't she leave? PLJ Happy. Hi, sis. Big up, big up, big up. Some people are saying, why didn't she leave? Why did she stay? Even when she had the opportunity to date others. Remember, because they were broken up for a while. And she was dating someone else, but then she went back to him, right? Why didn't she just stay away? So all of this, the defense team, Puffy's team, will try to use against her, right? To say that she consented to these freak off sessions. She loved it. She wanted it. She wanted to please her man. She stayed with him for 10 years. So it's going to be interesting to see. But I was just, it's just shocking of all the details. She's one brave woman. But she did say, guys, today, she did say, even after she left and everything, and she had her 2 girls, she did say that she thought about taking her life because, you know, all the stress, you know, is like, you know, PTSD. It just came on her and she started having flashbacks as to all the things that happened. And she thought about just walking outside into the traffic. She told her husband that you guys would be better off, the girls would be better off without me. I don't know. She's been through a lot. She said she don't even know how many freak off sessions she had. It was so many because every week they were doing it. Every week because Puffy was so freaky. And again, she would do the freak off sessions with the men, then with him. Or one will be in her mouth. Maybe Puffy in her mouth while the other one is behind her. Like, and this is a every week type of thing, whether she's on her period or not. So she said, imagine the smell and just the mess that they made. And this is going on across the state line. So this is where, you know, the trafficking comes in, you know, these charges, right? You're hiring these people and, you know, trafficking them across state line, you know. from Las Vegas to Los Angeles to New York to Florida to all over the places, you know. And you're using your company, you know, to shelter and to pay these people. So I'm going to be listening to see what his defense team, how they're going to cross-examine Cassie tomorrow, because this will be day 3 for her tomorrow. I'm sure she's relieved, and I hope, you know, she's okay, because she's very much pregnant, right? She's about 8 months pregnant right now. So I'm sure it's, you know, it's tough on her. But I'm sure she's also relieved and happy to get justice. And guys, remember when she tried to settle with him before it all came out? You know, she had asked him for $30 million and he had said no. And then when she put it out, he quickly settled the next day. They did ask her in court, like, how much did she settle for? So everybody was curious at court, and trying to figure out how much money. She said $20 million. That's not even enough for all she endured. So she got $20 million in that settlement money from him. That's what she said. That's not even enough for all she endured. But yeah, so she got $20 million, and which they settled in less than 24 hours. Hi, Moises Vargas. How are you? Big up yourself. PLJ says, many women don't want to see it as consent, but at some point, in reality, people do sell their soul. Yes. Of course, she has regrets. Maybe shame. Oh, gosh. Shame and embarrassment. And just, I mean, the details are so horrific and gory. It's just sex and drugs and just sheer nastiness and disgust. I mean, that part where she laid there, but she was so drugged up, and she laid there. Puffy and the other escort was peeing inside her mouth, over her, just peeing, and she's gagging, while the pee's basically drowning her. But she was too drugged up. And this is an everyday thing, you know, all the addiction, like, I think she just got off all that addiction, she said, what, maybe 2 years ago? How was she getting all these pills and all of that, these medications? And, well, according to her, you know, Puffy, yes, he had doctors there who were prescribing some of these medications. So all of these are illegal. Remember Michael Jackson with his whole propofol? That's how he passed, right? He had this doctor there putting him asleep, putting him under, sedating him to go asleep using propofol. And you see what happened? He never woke up. You have all these doctors, you know, money, you know, you pay them off and you could get whatever when you're rich and powerful. But then again, why didn't she leave? That is the question. Why didn't she leave earlier? That's the question that some people are asking. Well, Kat did say it's the year of the truth, right, honeybee? Oh my gosh. Ain't no trial like a Diddy trial. Guys, double tap on the screen, like up the live, like up the live. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Share the live. Share the live, share the live, share the live. Is it a thing? And is this what's happening in Hollywood, guys? Is this the type of a life that they live? Because sometimes we hear of these stories, you know, of these people, even the married folks, you know, they have, where they have all these different partners, you know, in their bedrooms and all of that. Even with regular folks too. They have multiple partners, and I don't know, but this is just sick. And the baby oil obsession. He loved when they looked shiny, and they had to keep on rubbing baby oil all over their bodies every 5 minutes. So all that sweat and balls and must and everything is gross. And you're doing it day in, day out. So she said she was so tired. I mean, I can imagine. That's why we didn't get any music from her. Tired, exhausted, her poor little body. I'm surprised how she kept up. And she's able to have children after all of that, with all the disease and everything. What John said, free puffy. Mm-mm-mm. Big up yourself, Danny boy. Good night, everyone, and my beautiful wife, Princess Rose Doll, my love. You're still number one in my life. Daddy boy. Big up yourself. Hi, Denise Thomas. Hi, sis. Good night, First Lady, and everyone. Big up yourself, sis. Double tap on the screen, guys. Double tap on the screen, like up the live. I hope I didn't miss anyone. I see a lot of random people over here. Thank you to my moderators, my wrenchers. Thank you guys. Danny and his princess. Right, honeybee? Again, double tap on the screen, guys. Double tap on the screen. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that she should have left? Or do you guys think that she could have even, walked away earlier? Or do you think because of his power, and he's a powerful guy who they say that he could have people disappear? Do you think that she was that scared for her life? Why she didn't leave? I don't know if that was my father. I don't know if I would want to sit there in court. I mean, these kids are there to give him moral support and to show support, but I don't know if I could even sit there and to hear all of that testimony, all of what he has been accused of. I don't know, especially his daughters. Like, you have daughters, Puffy. Would you want guys to be doing that to your daughters? I mean, when these men do these type of things, do they even think about the females in their lives, whether their daughters, siblings, sisters, their mothers, or are they just sick in the head? Because I wouldn't want my kids, I mean, it's good kind of for them to see the type of sick individual that their father is, for them to listen and hear what he did to Cassie. Because I don't know if they saw any of the scars on her, the beating, because at one point she testified that sometimes when she's staying by his house and he beat her up, she can't even tell how many times he beat her up. Like, he would just hit her for anything, and he would always hit her across the head and the face, I mean, kick her. Her face is always bruised, busted lips, busted eyebrows, busted face. It's big old welts in her back, like just all over, just abuse upon abuse. And she said at one point, when the kids were at the house, at one point he said, go put some makeup on your face. I don't want my sons to see you looking like this. So I don't know as to what extent that they saw the abuse, the physical abuse. But I know that in some of the complaints, the initial complaints, they did say that some of the sons were involved. The oldest son was involved, you know, in these, like they were at some of these parties or these events. So I don't know. I don't know. And you guys remember the 73 page, right? A complaint by Rodney. You guys remember the producer that he worked with for the Love album? The one that also accused him of doing all of these things with him. He was one of the people who were organizing and getting people for the freak off sessions, and he was involved, and he said, you know, Puffy touched him certain way and all that. I wonder if he's going to be testifying as well. And that Puffy didn't pay him the amount of money that, you know, he was supposed to pay him for producing the album. And he had hours and hours of video footage because he was staying with Puffy. And Puffy would have him, I don't know why, record. So he has video recordings of these freak off sessions of all these evidence. So I don't know. So, I mean, we have 6 weeks of this, but I'm already sick of it. It's just terrible. PLJ said she may think at some point she will become a star. The cost of fame has consequences. Yes. So she was staying in it like, okay, I'm with this guy here. Maybe these are the expectations of what it is to be with such a super mega star, you know. I'm the main chick. So she said at one point she thought that she was the only person until she found out that he was seeing other women. So she thought that she was his only girl. So I guess in her mind, she's pleasing her man. You know, he's not with any other girl, and he just wants to fulfill his fantasy, you know, his voyeurism of just watching and pleasuring himself while other men bang his girl. It seems like he used her as a cover-up, like he doesn't like women. Because there's no way you would have someone do that to your lady. You guys know how men are, very protective. They don't want no man, they don't even want to think that you're with someone else. I mean, they would go out there and cheat and all of that, but let them hear that a woman is with, their woman is with them, not, no, they would go crazy. So for him to have done all of that, you know, and sit there and watch, I don't think he loved her. He probably loved these men. I don't know. It's just crazy. The whole thing is just crazy. Hi, Paul Wilson. Thank you for joining the live. How are you? You're too pretty for me. Yeah, okay. Cassie's not a victim. She's a participant. So, Ghetto Planet, you're saying that she willfully participated. She consented to all these freak off sessions. I mean, that's what his defense team will be saying come tomorrow. Right? So I'm anxious to see how they're going to cross-examine her, what his defense will be like, because again, they're already staring on to the fact that, oh, this is just a domestic violence, you know, dispute between two people in a relationship, not forcing people to have sex with others, not all those things that he's accused of. So I'm very, very curious as to see how, I mean, what do you guys think? Do you guys think he's going to beat this case? Do you think he will get away? Or do you think this is it for him? You see, R. Kelly, he didn't get away with it, right? He did not get away. He's still there in prison for all his actions. He's just a narcissist. Yep, Honeybee, I think so too. Sicko. Too bad we cannot see the case live. I know. I mean, we saw the O.J. Simpson case way back then, years ago. They even showed the what's his name case? What's the actor Johnny Depp's case? And Amber Heard, we saw their case. Why we couldn't see Puffy's case? I don't want to see those drawings, the sketches. It would have been nice for us too, but I guess because of all the details of it is too much. It's the graphic details, you know, the horrific details. I don't know, you know. The gloves, right? If it doesn't fit, you must acquit. Mm-mm. I remember OJ case, yep. I remember the van going down on the highway, that big old white van. I feel bad for Diddy's kids because they have to hear and see everything his dad did. So say Kevin. I mean, they have the option of not being in the courts, you know, in the courtroom while all these testimonies going on. I mean, they choose to, because I guess they want to support their dad. And even so, even if they weren't in court, I'm sure they've seen and heard it on TV, read about it. They probably have seen it firsthand, some of them, right? But it's just sad because you know, if you put yourself in their shoes, what would you want to? Would you still love your parents unconditionally after all of that, or would you believe that? Because he did it. He's not saying that he didn't do all of those things. He's just saying it was consensual between two consensual adults and all those other people, right? It's all consent. We're all freaky. We're all freaking this together, right? This freak fest is our choosing because this is the lifestyle that we love. So it's not a crime. So he's not saying he didn't do it. And he's not even saying that he didn't beat her up because he can't, right? Because the tape was out there, right? So he has to own that part. But he's saying everything else is all consent, right? They all chose to do it. They weren't forced. They weren't coerced. They weren't in fear of their life. Does anyone understand he settled the case, but they're trying to charge him with RICO, but showing no evidence of that, and y'all still on it with Cassie? I mean, Soundwave, you have a point there. So this is what, I mean, we have six weeks of the trial, so we'll see what what else the prosecutor has, you know, up their sleeve to show. But the testimony does show, right, that they were hiring these people from different states, transporting them across state lines, paying them for sex, right? So these are all crimes. These are all crimes, right? These people are testifying that they were paid, these escorts, they were paid, they were hired. These are crimes. How were they paid? Who paid them? The boss himself? With what money? All them companies that he has. I mean, those are proofs right there. There are some really sick people looking normal in those circles. That is why these people should not be idolized. We don't personally know them. Exactly, PLJ Happy. Exactly. Hi, A. Jones. Hi, Morgan. Hi, Chef Lothian's Kitchen. Big up yourself, Miss Lothian. Hi, hi, hi. Thank you for joining the live. I got two surprises. Happy belated Mother's Day, Chef Lothian. Guys, say hi to Miss Lothian. Thank you for joining the live. PLJ happy. Blessings, Honey B, Marlene, Denise. Big up yourself again, sis. Yeah, so I mean, aren't those proofs on wave? Huh? These workers, these sex workers, they were hired from all over the country, right? And they were transported all across the US to have these sexcapades. They were. And all these victims, alleged victims, right, that are coming forward that have I mean, some of them, I don't know, maybe, I don't know if we are supposed to believe all of them, but there are a lot of victims that came forward and said that they were forced. Look at all the celebrities when it first came out last year. Everyone was scared because when the FBI raided his mansions, right, guys? Let's bring it back there. When the FBI raided his mansions, they found hours and hours and hours of video recordings, right, of all this sexual craziness happening. All these celebrities, they're all scared in their boots because they don't know if they're on it. Because you remember, Puffy has his little all white party, right? All his parties and stuff, they were all invited. Every celebrity that you can think of all went to the Diddy parties, right? So they were all involved with him at some point. They all were involved in the drugs and the alcohol and all of that for those who stayed after hours and did all the freakiness that they did. So they're all scared, like, are we on some of these recordings? There are victims who said that they woke up beside men saying that they woke up beside another man. They woke up sore because they allegedly were drugged and then raped. All these celebrities that were going to these parties, who knows if they were all involved, some of them, in all these freakiness, right? This is celebrity world. Sign those NDAs. Puffy got all of y'all on tape doing all the freakiness. So again, consent, non-consensual, we have to wait and see. We have to wait and see, guys, right? But it's so unfortunate. But if you sit and just read the transcript, or just if you watch TV, I didn't even turn on the TV to even listen to the details of what, of everything today. Because I'm just so sick to my stomach of what she endured, what Cassie endured and went through. What she get $20 million. She said she settled for 20 million out of the $30 million that she asked for. She get 20. She should get more than that. Because, oof. And thank goodness she has a husband that is standing by her side, that stood by her side, that got her away from it eventually, right? Because he was just brought in as a trainer and they ended up getting married. And they already have 2 kids and about to have a third one. So she finally escaped. But again, the question that they're going to ask the defense, what took you so long? If you were so unhappy, if this was forced on you, why didn't you leave? Why did you go back? When even when you guys broke up at one point, you went back to him. Even when you were, even when she was with her husband, well, they weren't married at the time, but when she was messing with Alex Fine when he was her trainer, and then Puffy found out, you know, Cassie testified today that he forced himself on her at that time. And this was when they had broken up and she was now with Alex. And guys, so today Alex was in the courtroom again, but then they asked him to leave right before she testified, right before the prosecutor asked her about that. He was told to leave the courtroom again. I don't know if they felt, because they said while he was in court, he was just sitting and just grimacing at Puff like he wanted to just attack him the entire time. So they asked him to leave, and this was when they asked her about that point in time. So her and Alex, they had started dating, and Puffy was upset about it, and then he was saying that he wanted back his money and all of that. And Cassie testified that he came to her house and he forced himself on her, meaning he raped her. So they didn't want Alex to hear that part of the testimony, supposedly. I don't know. But then, so she was already with Alex, but then she also testified that she went back to him after that and they had consenting sex. So they asked her, why? She said, we were together for 10 years and I still loved him. So all of this, I know the defense team, Puffy's team, they're going to use against her. I'm just so curious as to what this cross-examination will look like tomorrow. So this will be her third day tomorrow on the stand. Whew, what a long trial for a pregnant person, heavily pregnant, having to go through and relive all of this. It can't be easy at all for her. But she's sending a message, so thank goodness, you cannot get away with it. Whether you think you're this high, mighty, powerful person, you do things like this, it will eventually catch up to you, right? So Suge Knight and all of them, notice all of them, they're prison now. Look, they eventually get caught, right? Eventually. Soundwave, I'm not even gonna bother with that one there because yeah. And one on the way. Yep, Denise, the third one on the way. Third one on the way. We're not talking about Trump today, Playboy. Let him stay there. Okay, we're talking about Puffy, Diddy. Remember to like up the live, guys. Like up the live. Double tap on the screen. Double tap on the screen. ASAPDWD. What do you mean by that? Your autism is so inspiring. Keep up the good work. Did you make an error there with your word choice? Yes, guys. So this is just an update on the P. Diddy trial, what's been going on, the testimonies from, the escort, the sex worker, from Cassie. Today was her second day on the stand. Tomorrow she will be on the stand again. She will be cross-examined by Puffy's team, the defense team. So we're looking forward to that. We are looking forward to that, but it's just so unfortunate. Like, you can look at these celebrities and you think that, they are untouchable or that they have this fabulous life, and behind closed doors all of this is happening. Big up yourself, Princess Rose Doll. Hi sis, big up, big up, big up. Behind closed doors, you know, all of this is happening. Double tap on the screen, guys. Double tap on the screen. That's why you must be jealous or, you know, of people and their lifestyle, because you don't know what they're going through. So every time you see Cassie looking all beautiful on the red carpet beside next to Puffy, no, she's all covered with scars, and she has to cover up those scars in makeup, right? All the beatings that she endured. All for what? For the fame? For being a kept woman, maybe? For the promises of having a musical career? Because she did sign a 10-album record deal, which we haven't seen that come into fruition, but right? Are these people selling their souls for fame and fortune? Or was she just young and naive and taken advantage of by this older, powerful man who took advantage of her youth, of her innocence? Because she kept on saying, they keep on asking her why, and she said she loved him. She wanted to do it for him. That's been her response. She loved him, and she called him Sean throughout the testimony, the trial. Sean, you know, that's his government name. She said she loved him. She said she was mortified. She felt disgusted with all the freak off sessions. She did not like it, but she felt like she had to do it. She couldn't tell him no. She could not tell him no. Marlene said it was all for the fame and luxury life. I guess when it started out, she didn't think that it would go so far, because I guess when he first introduced it to her, she probably thought that, oh, I'm pleasing my man, you know, he's not with anyone else, it's just me. He's not even doing it with anyone else. He's having me doing it with these people, which is just sick in itself, because he just have some sick fetish, according to him, voyeurism, right? Where he just want to just sit there and watch people engaged in the act. But watch people, strangers, you know, like how people watch porn and all of that. But not watch your own woman doing it and people banging her out. Like, that is just sick in itself. So she not your woman. You don't love her. You don't consider her to be a woman, because there's no way you would love someone and have them endure all of that. And then you go after these men and engage in activities with her afterwards. Like, what kind of sick, twisted mess is that? Kinkiness. It's very, very sad. Very, very sad. Very, very, very sad. And the big question is, does this constitute all the charges that are brought up against him? Is this sex trafficking? Is this racketeering? right? Is this using force, or is it just consensual? Because he's saying it's consensual. She agreed to do all of this, or else she would have left already. She wouldn't have stayed with him for 10 years. And even when they broke up briefly, she went back to him. So if she wanted to leave at that time, she could have left, but she chose not to. So all of that is going to come into play. So I know they're going to have the prosecutor, they will have their witnesses, right? Maybe they'll have professional psychologists and all of that to testify what it is like when someone is under duress, when someone is so manipulated under, by someone of power, that it takes away, right? Take away their rights, take away their judgments. So I'm sure they'll have witnesses, of such nature to present, the case as to why Cassie would stay. What is a freak off? Kevin, you're not listening. Like up the live, right, Angela? Hi, City, big up yourself. You're not watching the news? You're not hearing about the Diddy case, Kevin? Like up the live, guys. Double tap on the screen. I see a lot of you are in here. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscription button, that bell, and make sure that you click that notification to all, right? So that you are notified when I come live. When I create new contents, when I upload new contents, you'll be the first to be notified. All right, thumbs up the live, share the live, also tell your friends to come on over. We're live here giving you guys some updates on the Sean P. Diddy trial that's ongoing. We're into day 3 of the trial, and we have seen his ex-girlfriend Cassie. She took the stand for the second day, where she gave an account, very detailed account of what it was like living and being the girlfriend of Sean Puffy Diddy Brother Love Combs. She described all the gory details of those freak off sessions that involved sex workers, escorts that they would find on Craigslist and all the other escorting websites, how they would make sure they try to sort them out, make sure that they're not undercover police, because of course she realized that it's illegal, right, at some point. Hence those charges. And they would have all these staff of people looking for and scouting these different men from all over the country. They will be transporting them to different states, different hotels that they would book to have their freak off sessions. The freak off sessions normally involve a lot of nakedness. Baby oil was a big ingredient in these freak off sessions. A lot of scantily clad, right, Cassie? Nakedness, men, multiple men. At one point, they would have different sessions during the day with her, little old Cassie, with these different men. She said Puff liked black men more and Spanish men to do her. So they would look for those type of men. He liked, in the beginning, he liked those big, thick, burly men with big things, schlongs. So those are the people that she would go scouting for, and the other staff members. She would use fake names. Of course, she wouldn't use her name when she's scouting for these people, and he would make the final, right? The final check as to which men would be involved in their freak off sessions. The freak off sessions, for those who are still confused, involve these men having intercourse with Cassie while P. Diddy usually sits and watch, or sometimes he's involved afterwards. So she would do it with these guys, then she'd go into the room and be with him. They asked her, did you like the freak off sessions? She said no, but kind of, because it was a way for her to spend time with him. Because when she's done doing the freak off with these random escorts, then she would go in the room and she would get to spend time with him, Puffy, and they'll do the do. Just all gross. So she liked that part of it because she got to spend time with him and because she loved him. The freak off session sometimes involved no type of condom. So she said Puffy loved when the men would ejaculate on her, and he would love when she rubbed it all over herself, and she would have it on her. Then she would go to him and rub the men's things, ejaculation, on him. So all of that, so she testified. So I'm telling you, people, very gory, graphic details. And she said she thought that was just disgusting and nasty, but that's what he liked. And I heard that Puffy, because of course there's no cameras involved, but you know, you have the person who does the sketching. But of course, people were there, you know, reporters and all of that. They said during her testimony at some point, she was just moving around, grimacing, you know, of course, uncomfortable, right, with all of those details being brought out. And of course, family members and his children are there hearing it, right? So all of this, people, all of this, and then some. And again, she said diseases, her mouth sometimes was sore. Her hoo-ha down there was sore. She was getting UTIs, and she was telling him that she was burning, and he didn't care. So she was just doing it with all these different men while burning on her period. And it's graphic, guys. It's graphic. It's terrible what she went through. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Terrible. But we'll get to hear from others, right? Tomorrow, Cassie will be cross-examined, as I said, by the defense team. So we'll all be curious to know what kind of questions they ask her. And I guess as the trial goes on and we get to see the different witnesses and the other testimonies from the different folks, we'll just watch and see the outcome of this trial, right? So I will give you more updates on this if I feel like it, because it's so exhausting. It's very exhausting, you know, that someone had to endure all of this, that Cassie had to endure, that anyone had to endure all of this, right? So for anyone who is involved in something similar like this, get out, right? Get help, get out of it, get help. It's not worth it at all. You know, your dignity, your self-worth, your self-esteem, it's not worth it at all. Not for the love That's not love, not for money. It's not worth it. Not worth it at all. So get out of those situations. Get away, report it. All right. So guys, it's your girl First Lady Davidson. Thank you for joining me today on this live here as we report on the Diddy trial and the graphic details of what happened to Cassie. Thank you for joining the live. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Give me a thumbs up before you leave. Double tap on the screen. Thank you again for joining First Lady Davidson. Have a wonderful night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Bye.